Welcome back to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Stephen St. John, Todd Leabo, Jake Gutierrez, now joined by Scott Carroll in studio. Scott, you played quarterback.
Yes, sir.
Mahomes and Burrow never disappoints for
Never.
drama.
Always comes down to the last play. It's crazy.
You like Joe Burrow?
I like his game a lot. I think over the years, he's gotten kind of a jaded heart recently. It looks like just...
It's his hair.
There you go.
Is that the first time you've seen that matchup live in person?
No, I was at... I've been to all the matchups in Arrowhead.
He's done it all.
But
what kind of question was that? Golly.
Good question, though, Jake. No, but I like Burrow's game a lot. He throws a great ball. He obviously was dialed in yesterday, and they were exposing, I think, some parts of the Chiefs' defense that, we weren't expecting. But I was really impressed with his deep ball, just the way his accuracy was yesterday, and when those two go up against each other.
I apologize, Scott Carroll, but breaking news.
What we got?
Rap sheet. Ian Rappaport is reporting that Isaiah Pacheco, who left the stadium in a walking boot and crutches, fractured his fibula based on initial tests, sources say. More information coming to determine severity and associated damage, but Pacheco is set to miss real time.
It's kind of what we felt yesterday, that there was bad news. There was definitely bad news yesterday initially because of what we saw in the locker room.
Well, if you heard us talk about it in the 6 o'clock hour, I told you that we saw him in tears and being consoled by coaches and teammates.
And you refused to let me speculate.
Nah, because I don't like it, because you're not a doctor.
What?
Even though you pretend to be one.
Oh, rap sheet is?
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Maybe he is.
Maybe
Dr. Rosen.
Maybe he's a nurse practitioner. You ever think of that?
Physician's assistant.
This sucks.
It does stink, but here's the deal. I mean, the Chiefs find ways to get through situations. They've had lots of injuries over this stretch that they've been successful. Lots of them.
Claim Carson Steele off waivers. It's a fancy update. If he's, probably already taken, but maybe not.
We'll have a Zoom with Andy Reid in the noon hour today.
Yeah.
Perhaps more details.
There you go. So sorry, Scott Carroll, that was important.
No, it's very important. I'm bummed. I'm bummed for Pacheco. He's such a good dude, and he has a great heartbeat for this offense. Like they thrive off of his energy, and you hate it for him as a person and what he brings to this offense. And again, like we talked about, the Chiefs are going to get tested as far as just overcoming adversity. This is not going to be an easy road, but I think if any organization can do it, they definitely can do it. My question would be, does CEH make an appearance?
Well,
now?
he is on the
I know, but
list, so he can't do anything for 2 more weeks.
Right.
Does he feel good now all of a sudden?
I don't know.
Is
I mean,
Kareem Hunt still out there?
And he will continue to be out
they
there.
do have 2 guys on the practice squad.
I don't dislike that, Jake.
There are 2 guys in the practice squad.
Clark
Someone's
Hunt,
getting elevated. They played this last game with 52 guys because they didn't
Okay.
make a move on Hollywood Brown. So they have a couple of moves to make off the practice squad or off the street, whatever. But you're going to see Carson Steele, Samaje Perine get involved. Clyde can't do anything for 2 weeks. So.
Right. But it's a great pickup getting Perine for sure because obviously you need depth.
No,
now.
that's right. That's right. And look, hey, Carson still had the fumble, but then they went back to him in important situations.
And
so.
we sit there and watch because we think we're Sherm's number 42, but he's got running back type moves and things.
That
as
hurdle
well.
he did yesterday,
The hurdle
that was incredible.
Yeah, he's a tough kid and a good runner, but he's going to have a bigger part of this for sure because we don't know anything, particular about how long it's going to be. But broken fibula sounds like that's not soon.
No, that's tough, man. I feel bad for him. Just like you guys saw.
But he walked off the field. He did social media videos for the team and everything. But they go in there and they say, all right, well, you've got a crack in your bone. Yeah, difference between playing football and walking off the field. They obviously put the boot on him, had him on the crutches, leaving, and this is. We'll get more information later. It's tough news for the kid individually and for the team. But listen, this is football.
Yeah.
Jerick McKinnon still out there?
Yep.
He's absolutely still out there.
So, Tavius Murray still out there?
I mean, McKinnon is someone who people have kind of felt is a break glass in case of emergency type guy to begin with, and he doesn't really like going to training camp and all that. Veteran guy. I promise you this: Jet's not sitting around weighing 250 pounds. He didn't get all fat or something like that. He's in shape.
If it's not McKinnon, they'll dip into their practice squad.
Yeah, Keontae Ingram.
You know, they'll Carson Steele.
It's a challenge.
And mix in Samaj P. Ryan.
Sure.
And then elevate someone on
One
the
of the
practice
two.
squad.
Hey, listen, it's a challenge, but this team, that's why you have practice squad. It's why you scour the waiver wires. It's why you keep in touch with people. That they'll do something.
Mm-hmm.
But
I would say McKinnon would make sense if they're going to bring someone in because they trust him. He knows the offense. He can, get acclimated, and they can most importantly, they can trust him in pass pro.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone talks about running the ball and catching the ball, but you have to have a guy in there that's not going to get Mahomes' head taken off. So
yeah,
I'm sorry. You come
That's
in
okay.
here and
Come
things
in. Hey.
happen.
Hey,
Things
it happens.
happen. That's all there is to it.
I love football talk too.
You know what?
I can do both.
You can do both because you played
I
both
did
sports.
both.
And you were at the game yesterday, even though for some reason Jake thinks you've never gone to a game at Arrowhead. That's fine. I trust you love football. He's seen them all, Jake.
All
he
right.
says it's the first one.
I was texting you. He said, I'm heading out the game. I didn't know if that's the first time he ever saw
Guess where he's going tonight? Are you going out there tonight? Maybe.
Man, you know
We'll
what?
send you out there.
I think let's do it. I think Kansas City, you wanted important baseball in September. Well, it's here.
Here it is.
Here
Scott
it is,
Carroll
folks.
said it's here. Now take advantage of it. And this is it's a bigger series for Detroit because they got to win to catch Minnesota. But for the Royals, they can bury Detroit, bury one of the teams that have a chance to catch. I don't think that they can catch the Royals. They can catch Minnesota. But the Royals can just solidify their spot. And also, they're still chasing Cleveland. They're still chasing Baltimore. But they did what they had to do, even though yesterday was disappointing. You win 2 out of 3 against Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
Yeah.
You win 2 out of 3 of every series left, you're going to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And so they did what they had to do against Pittsburgh, and they got Lugo tonight.
Yeah, I
love it.
I mean, obviously a lot has happened since I saw you guys last, but the whole week, I mean, it was impressive, man. They're playing good baseball, 7-3 in their last 10, and just really good performances on the mound, from the plate. Just guys stepping up, and really happy for Alec Marsh and his start. That was dominating, and then to take 2 out of 3 in Pittsburgh after the good stretch they had, keep the momentum going. Now they're back home. So they got these 3 really important games against Detroit. Detroit's playing really good baseball. They're sneaking up on people right now, and they're on the heels of the Twins. And these are important games because the division's still obtainable. It's still right there. So
We have Scott Carroll in studio. When we come back, we'll play a clip from Ian Rappaport. He was just on NFL Network talking about Pacheco. It's about a minute long. We'll play it when we come back, and also get Scott Carroll's thoughts about the Royals coming up and what they have to do to nail down this playoff spot. We'll take a break back after this on WHB. Stephen St. John here for Heartland Men's Health. Fellas, if you're dragging on this Monday morning and you feel like you don't have the same energy level that you're accustomed to, if you feel like you didn't get quality sleep, if you've been going to the gym lately and not getting the same results, if you have brain fog, maybe you're even dealing with low sex drive, any of these symptoms might have you thinking, well, I'm just getting older. That's what life is now. I got to put up with it. I got to deal with it. Well, maybe that's not the case because you might have low testosterone. If you want to find out more, and if you have low T, you can go to heartlandmenshealth.com and take the low T quiz on their website. It's a simple 10-question quiz with yes and no answers. Only takes a couple of minutes. Then you can schedule a consult with Heartland Men's Health. They'll do your lab work and have results within 30 minutes. A licensed medical provider will review results with you and discuss your options, and you'll make the decision together with a medical team. Cost of the appointment is only $99, which includes medical consult, T, and PSA test. And if you sign up for testosterone treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. So here's what you need to do. You need to call Heartland Men's Health, 844-447-6600. They have 3 locations that serve you. Overland Park, Independence, right between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and the new office in North Kansas City. So call them today. There's no need to wait. 447-6600 or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Isaiah Pacheco, sources say, fractured his fibula in yesterday's Chiefs win over the Cincinnati Bengals. This was kind of the fear leaving the stadium. He was in a walking boot. He was in crutches. Anytime they're going to take a look at the bone, usually that's not good. This is why. Initial test showed a fractured fibula. Now, my understanding is he's going to have more tests today to determine if there is associated damage. In other words, if there is damage to the ligaments, what needs to happen next, and how long he is going to be out. But it is a fracture, and generally those are 4, 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks. Don't be surprised if Isaiah Pacheco is placed on injured reserve. And for the Kansas City Chiefs, they do have some options at running back. Some we saw on the field yesterday. They do also have Jerick McKinnon, who's played for them the last couple of years, who is a free agent. There are certainly some options, but they are 2-0, and they have now lost Hollywood Brown for the foreseeable future and Isaiah Pacheco to a fractured fibula.
Sucks. That's Ian Rappaport on NFL Network with his report on Isaiah Pacheco. May I ask you one more football question before we get back to baseball, Scott Carroll?
Yeah, let's do it.
You're a man that wears many hats, even though you're not wearing one now. I find it interesting because I sit here, I don't say much, but I listen during the commercial breaks. The defensive coordinator for the Bengals, Lou Anarumo, he was on the staff at Purdue when you were there at Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, first of all, he's a hell of a defensive coordinator. They didn't win yesterday, but it seems like his defenses give the Chiefs and Mahomes fits.
Yeah.
And so tell me about Lou Anarumo.
Yeah, he was a great defensive back coach when I was there at Purdue. We had some really good DBs when I was there. Sent some guys to the NFL, and he was just a great coach, a good technician. Kind of like in Spags in the way that, that's their specialty. They love working with the DBs and secondary. And just from what I've seen, obviously since 2018, 19, 20, and then all the matchups that the Bengals and Chiefs have had, it just Anarumo has a way of styling up the defense to where it does give the Chiefs and Mahomes troubles, and they just can't decipher, to really how to pick them apart and be efficient. But I was just impressed with the way that they played yesterday with the secondary and keeping Mahomes off of his platform, making sure he's making tough throws, making bad decisions. We talked in the break about Mahomes not really having that good of a game, and so some bad interceptions and keeping Mahomes thinking that he's seeing stuff that's actually not there. So yeah, definitely got to tip your cap because he continually gives the Chiefs and Mahomes fits, and it's always a battle when those two go up against each other.
All right, let's get into the baseball again tonight. Big series, Royals, Tigers, 6:40. Seth Lugo on the mound, and Todd Leabo covering the game. You talk about hats. This guy has so many hats, he can't wear them all.
Todd, you going to the game?
Yeah.
Covering it like an Independence Lee Summit blanket. Is
like
that
a
right?
blanket.
Very warm.
A wet blanket.
You'll be in there asking questions, trying to find out what the hell's going on. But we were
praying for a short game.
We're not. You used to play, and you used to never look ahead. But now you don't play, so let's look ahead.
Let's look ahead.
We're looking at schedules, and I'm not giving up on the division, but that doesn't. It's 4 games, right? But the number 1 seed in the wild card, I think, is still in play. Tell me again, Mr. Todd Leabo, who Baltimore plays, because they got you heard it. They got a shot here.
Yeah, they got a tough stretch. Baltimore has, and they got a tough stretch.
And it'll be meaningful because the number 1 wild card gets the series.
They're
at
off
home
today, but they play the Giants at home, and the Tigers, who are playing for a lot. That's this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Then they finish at the Yankees, at the Twins.
Okay.
So Baltimore's got
All right.
a pretty tough schedule there.
Let's go.
Everyone's
got 2.5. What are the rules behind Baltimore right now?
In the wild card
In this
instant,
moment.
they are 2 games.
2 games. Okay.
2 games back, 2.5 ahead of the Twins.
Okay, so that's feasible.
5 games in front of the Tigers.
Don't give up on the division, but that's the 2 games to get the number 1 wild card spot.
Well, here's the question for you, Scott Carroll.
Yes, sir.
Okay, is Seth Lugo your game 1 starter?
Yes.
Okay. So Seth Lugo's throwing tonight. You have to secure the wild card spot. You have to consider the division if things go the right way with Cleveland. If they lose some games, Their schedule is Twins for 4 starting tonight at the Cardinals. They've got the Reds for a couple, and then they're against the Astros. How do you try to weigh and balance making sure Lugo is your game 1 starter if there's a game on October 1st, or try to not have a game on October 1st if it gets close? And it looks like what's going now, it should be pretty easy to get him pitching on October 1st.
Yeah. Well, he'll for sure pitch 2 more times. We know that looking at the schedule. So those next 2 starts, so focusing on this one, but then he has 1 more. And so then after that, they'll reevaluate with him and Riggins to see where things just would line up with schedule-wise, how many games left, where they are sitting at in the whole picture of wild card versus division, and then try and line stuff up from there. But yeah, it's like I said, man, it's just this is what Kansas City wanted. You want an important baseball game from September, very beginning of October. We're here. This is it. So
because if you go tonight and then let's say he pitched, then there's he pitches the 5th game, right?
Yep.
Tonight, not pitch. And you
got those 3 off days, remember?
And there's off days in there too.
Yeah.
I mean, so if to pitch on, I mean, when would his last start be if he could pitch on Tuesday, the 1st? You wouldn't want him starting anything after that Friday game on the 27th.
All I care about is games 1 and 2, Lugo and Cole Reagans, or Cole Reagans and Lugo, whatever, and then game 3 is Waka.
Yes.
That's all I care
I
about.
like that a lot.
As long as Lugo and Reagans are 1 and 2 in either order, Waka's my 3, and that's it.
Well, I think what can happen if you're wrapped up with whatever you know by the Braves series, then you just get through the Braves series with whatever, and you don't pitch them then.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but listen, they got to go take care of business. It
Right.
seems.
Man,
I mean,
this
the
guy's just
playoff
jumping
percentage.
way ahead.
But the percentages are there are some. The magic number stuff's weird because there's magic numbers for the division, there's magic numbers for playoff spot number, whatever. They could lose every single game and still make the playoffs. Okay, mathematically.
Don't put that out there.
But you don't want to do that, obviously. But basically, if they just
What's wrong with you?
nothing's wrong with
Like,
it.
12 games left.
Why do you even dream up that scenario?
They're 5-game
Let's
lead over the Tigers.
Let's go 8-4 over these last 12.
Well, you're going to be in good shape. You go 8-4.
So I'm telling you, the number 1 wild card is on the table.
Yes.
Division, maybe.
Maybe, but what's for right there? 2 games. I like this opportunity. I like it. I like it, Scott Carroll.
I love it. You like it? I love it.
I want some more of it.
What's the over-under tonight? We said it on attendance. Royal Stadium.
Well, I was
do you
hopeful
think?
for 20, but now I don't think so. I don't know. We'll see.
It's a beautiful
Monday.
night. Monday. Are people hungover from the Chiefs, you think?
It's meaningful baseball.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, this is big
It's what you
baseball.
asked for.
There's only 6 games left.
6 home games, folks.
It's what you want.
I'm
Leabo
gonna
be up there.
put the over/under on 17-5.
Scott Carroll, you had breaking news in here. You talked football. You talked
Love it.
baseball. You did it all. That's Scott Carroll, former Major League pitcher and current contributor on New Day with SSJ right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.